Hey there! If you live in Westlake Village, you know it's pretty much a paradise for dog lovers, right? But to really enjoy all the amazing things this place has to offer, you kind of need a well-behaved dog by your side. So that's what we're going to talk about today, how to find that perfect trainer to make it happen.
You know that picture in your head? The one where you're taking a nice, calm walk around the lake or just chilling on a patio with your pup? Yeah, we all want that. But let's be real. Sometimes the reality is a whole lot of leash pulling, barking at everyone who walks by, or a dog that's just plain stressed out. Good training, well, that's what bridges the gap between that dream and your actual daily life.
So where do you even start? Don't worry, we've broken it down into 5 easy steps. First, we'll cover training philosophy. Then, we'll decode all those letters after a trainer's name. After that, we'll figure out the right format for you, talk about budgeting, and wrap up with a checklist for Westlake Village specifically. All right, first up, choosing your training philosophy. This is the foundation for a great relationship. And honestly, this is probably the most important decision you're going to make. It's not just about sit and stay. It's really about the kind of bond you want with your dog.
So let's talk about positive reinforcement. This is really the way to go for modern humane training. All it means is that you're using rewards, like treats, praise, a favorite toy, to encourage the behaviors you want to see. You're teaching your dog what to do instead of just punishing them for what not to do. It basically turns learning into a fun game for them.
And why does this work so well? Well, for one, it builds a ton of trust between you and your dog. You get real, lasting changes in their behavior without making them fearful or stressed. And here's the thing, in a community like Westlake Village, this is huge. It means it's safer for everybody, and it definitely helps keep things peaceful with the neighbors.
Okay, Section 2, decoding trainer credentials. Let's try to understand that alphabet soup, right? Here's something you should know. In California, anyone can call themselves a dog trainer. There's no requirement for certification. So, when you see a trainer who has credentials, that's a really good sign they're serious about their education and professional standards.
So let's break this down into 2 simple categories. If you're working on everyday manners, puppy skills, basic obedience, you'll want to look for a CPDTK or a KPA-CTP. These are kind of the gold standard for that stuff. But if you're dealing with more complex issues like serious fear, anxiety, or reactivity, you're going to need a specialist. That's when you look for something like a CBCCK or an IABC-DBC. All right, part 3, finding the right format. What's actually going to fit your lifestyle? Now that you know what philosophy and credentials you're looking for, it's time to figure out how the training will actually happen. The best choice here really depends on your goals and, let's be honest, your schedule.
Okay, so let's look at the options. Private lessons are awesome for stuff that happens right in your home, like going crazy when the doorbell rings. They're also perfect for practicing leash skills on your actual neighborhood streets. Then you've got group classes. These are great for socialization and learning to work around distractions. Perfect practice before you head to a busy spot like the promenade. And finally, there's board and train. This is for really intensive work, especially if you're super busy. The big thing to remember here, though, is that you have to be ready to keep up the training when your dog gets back home.
Next up, number 4, budgeting for training. Let's talk about what to expect in the Westlake Village area. I know, we have to talk about money, but really, think of it as an investment in a calmer home and just a better life with your dog. The prices you'll see around here usually depend on the trainer's experience, their certifications, and of course, the training format. So just to give you a baseline, a single private lesson for about an hour or 90 minutes will typically run you somewhere between $125 and $225. This is a pretty common starting point if you want to tackle specific issues right where they happen. And here's a bigger picture of what different packages might cost. A series of group classes, say for a puppy, is usually the most budget-friendly option. Then you have packages of in-home sessions, which give you that one-on-one coaching. And then at the top end, you have the board and train programs. Those are definitely the biggest investment, but they're designed for super intensive, immersive training.
Okay, last section, number 5, your Westlake Village checklist. You've got all the info, so now let's get practical. Here are the final steps to help you make a choice you feel really good about.
First off, it's a good idea to know the local rules. A 6-foot leash is required pretty much everywhere in public, unless you're in a designated dog park. Licensing is required every year, and here's a little local quirk. Westlake Village is split between LA and Ventura counties, so who you register with depends on your address. And of course, the rabies vaccine is required by California law for any dog over 4 months.
Any good trainer is going to give you homework, and these are some great local places to get it done. The Westlake Village Dog Park is perfect for off-leash stuff like recall and just getting used to other dogs.
Conahay Creek Dog Park is another great one, especially because it has separate areas for big and small dogs. And for leash walking practice, the trails around Lake Sherwood are just ideal for getting used to hikers and other real-world distractions.
Okay, so when you're ready to actually call a trainer, have this little 5-minute interview script handy. You want to ask how they keep things positive, how they're going to tailor the plan specifically for your dog and your life here, how you'll both know you're making progress, make sure they have liability insurance, and a really big one, what kind of homework will you be expected to do between sessions?
It really all comes down to this. Choosing the right trainer is the first step to a happier dog and, let's be honest, a less stressed you. Putting in the time up front to find the right person is one of the best things you can do for your dog and for yourself.
So, wishing you the absolute best in your training journey. You know, a well-behaved dog just opens up this whole world of possibilities for you to enjoy together. It means everything from your own neighborhood walks to all the best spots around town are suddenly so much more fun and relaxing.